Hello and welcome to another episode of Adam's Kitchen on Trust TV. I am Adam Mani Angora, your host. In this program, where we do learn together how to prepare some amazing dishes. In today's episode, I am going to make a gluten-free spicy chicken wrap. But before we get started, let us go for a short break and we will be right back. Welcome back. So let us have a look at those ingredients needed in order to prepare this dish. First of all, we are going to make use of a gluten-free flour, which is an oatmeal, amount of chicken, fresh parsley, dried ginger, an egg, dried garlic, dried coriander, turmeric powder, some lemon juice, chili pepper, dried cinnamon or cinnamon powder. I'm also going to make use of green bell pepper. Spring onions is going to be used. Yellow pepper is also needed, as well as olive oil. We are going to also add a touch of cabbage at the finishing line. I am also going to make use of cloves, cardamom, and black pepper. Some seasoning is also going to be used. So let us get started. So first thing I'm going to do is, of course, to begin to get my spices very much close to me, and my mortar and pestle is right here, where I am going to put in some amount of cinnamon. What I am making right now is actually a sort of marinade, which I'm going to apply on the chicken, and then we'll proceed to the next level. So inside of my mortar, I have already added cinnamon, some cardamom, some cloves, and black pepper. Now I am going to add in some amount of dried garlic. And then dried ginger is also going to be added inside of the mortar. And then I'm going to add the coriander. And if you have a fresh coriander, just feel free to use it. But in this situation, I'm using dried coriander. But of course, you can also make use of both dried and fresh. And then I'm putting a yellow pepper in there, but let me give it a chop so that it's easy to blend while I grind it inside of the mortar. So I put some amount of it, and then I will now pick some leaves of the parsley and add it in together like this. I will go ahead and grab my lemon to squeeze the lemon juice. I'd always squeeze my lemon like this in order to make it much more juicy, so that it's much easier to extract the juice, and that way you get maximum amount of the lemon juice. See, it's really soft. Then I'll just cut it off this, and then go ahead and add it. Okay, so now that I've added the lemon, I've squeezed the lemon juice in, I'll go ahead and add some seasoning inside, like this. And then we'll grab the olive oil and also add it in. And then I'll go ahead and blend the whole thing together. Okay, so now the mixture is been made, and then I'll go ahead and grab the chicken and cut it like this. So what I'll do after this is to put the whole chicken inside of a bowl, and then we'll now go ahead and add in the marinade in here. Oops. Okay, I'll go ahead and add it like this. And then mix it gently so that the whole marinade is applied on the chicken. So the marinade is being applied, and the next thing we are going to do is to keep the marinated chicken for about 2 hours. If you like, you can keep it overnight, okay? And then we'll come back to it. So while we keep the chicken to continue to marinate, let me proceed with the next line of action, which is actually to cut this my chili pepper and the other ingredients. And while I do this, I already have some amount of water inside of the pot, and I will now start my fire and then make the water very, very hot, just close to the boiling point. Okay. These chili peppers are going to be sliced into very thin pieces, but I also get rid of all the seeds inside because I don't need them. So now the water is getting heated, and what I need next is to grab my flour and then add in the salted butter inside of it like this. I will also add about a spoon of olive oil inside, okay, and then I will break my egg in it this way, and of course add a little amount of seasoning. Okay, my water is ready, and I will now go ahead and mix the flour and make sure that the butter melts really well before adding the water. I will now go ahead and pour some amount of hot water inside of it, and then give it a mix so gently, okay. Okay, I will go ahead and add in some amount of oil. So now this mixture is going to be kept aside as well for the next 30 minutes before we actually get to make use of it. Now what I'll do is to actually continue to cut the rest of the ingredients that are actually going to be used while we wait for the chicken to continue to get marinated, and also wait for our wrap mixture to be ready. But while we actually do this, let us go for a short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. In case you are just joining us, you are watching Adam's Kitchen on Trust TV, and you must have missed really a lot, but I'm sure you'll be able to catch up. So now that we are back, all the remaining ingredients been cut, the chicken that we kept to continue to get marinated is already out here. That's what we actually put in this Ziploc and ready to be used. I will bring my griddler onto the fire, and then go ahead and start the fire and make sure that it gets really hot before I begin to place anything on it. So here we are, and here is our chicken. So let's give it a few seconds to a minute to get hot. But this isn't going to be put on a low heat or medium heat. We are going to apply a maximum high heat on the burner. So with the griller getting hot, I'll just use my brush to brush it up with a very little amount of olive oil to at least, since we are using high heat, of course, there is tendency of the chicken getting burnt and getting stuck. So in order to reduce that tendency of it happening, I would apply a little amount of olive oil, and then the moment of truth, I'll go ahead and begin to grab my chicken and gently place it onto the pan that is getting really hot. So while the chicken is being processed, I'll just go ahead and sprinkle a little amount of turmeric powder, which actually, if you like, you could actually add it during the marination process. So as we are getting this ready, let me go ahead and begin to prepare the cabbage. Okay, now that the chicken is ready, I'll go ahead and just take it off the fire and then keep it aside. And what I'll do next is actually to add a little amount of olive oil here. And then go ahead and add some amount of spring onions. And then the chili peppers. Of course, some amount of yellow pepper. Remember, the objective is to actually get it actually spicy. So the bell pepper also is going to be added, and then give it a stir fry. And with a pinch of seasoning. And then some amount of parsley. So I've already given it a stir fried, and we have this ready, and we are good to go ahead and begin to serve our dish. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is actually to bring the chicken out of the pan, and then bring to give it a slice. So you can see that, you know, the chicken is absolutely ready, absolutely soft and ready to serve. So at this, I would have my cabbage like this, and what I'm going to do is to add a little amount of stir-fried spring onions, bell pepper, chili pepper and yellow pepper, and then grab my chicken and also add it like this, and then cover it like this, and then grab some amount of these things, and then I would also go ahead and grab another sheet of the cabbage and then add it like this. And what I'll do now is to actually give it a roll like this, and then try to hold it tight with my toothpick, and then grab another. And this is something that if you like, if you have any of your favorite chili sauce, you can actually go ahead and add on top of the chicken. Like this. The wrap again, and then I'll go ahead and grab it this way and then begin to roll it over. Okay, and then we now go ahead and hold it tight like this. Here comes the moment of truth when our dish is finally served. As we experimented with an oatmeal to produce a gluten-free chicken wrap, which turned out to be actually impractical. But we ended up having a cabbage wrap. And also, we do serve it with a pineapple yogurt, which in our subsequent episodes will definitely show the process of making such a thing. But for now, as our dish is being served, it is my hope that you will continue to watch, learn, and practice with Adam's Kitchen on Trust TV. Until then, I say bye-bye for now.